begin this championship Saturday in college football at TDECU Stadium in Houston. It's the first conference championship game in the 3-year history of the American Athletic Conference. The 22nd ranked Temple Owls take on number 19, the Houston Cougars. And the Cougars are taking the field at 11-1 for the year. Just the fourth 11-win season in the history of the Cougar football program. They've won just 2 conference championships in the last 3 decades, both as a member of Conference USA. Hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm Sean McDonough, along with the College Football Hall of Famer Chris Spielman, joined in just a moment by Todd McShay. Delighted to have you with us for a very big game, not only for the conference championship, but the winner of this game is almost certainly going to go to a New Year's Six bowl game as the highest-ranked conference champion out of the group of 5. Houston at 11-1, a terrific first year under Coach Tom Herman. One of the best offensive teams in the country as we welcome in Todd McShay. Todd, the Cougars averaging 42 points per game, 8th in the nation, with a dynamic dual-threat quarterback in Greg Ward Jr.
And you mentioned Herman. He's one of the best in the business at creating one-on-one opportunities for his offensive skill players. And they do it by finding out what the personnel is for the defense and what the alignment is for the defense. And once they've done that, Greg Ward Jr. is able to take advantage. Now, you're going to see here, this is an opportunity against personnel. 3 receivers right, single to the left. Got a bigger receiver matched up against a cornerback who doesn't do a good job of going up and getting it, and Ward puts the ball there. Now, what Ward does so well, see right here. Like an NBA point guard, exceptional quickness and agility, so if the initial play breaks down, he can make it into a big play. So exciting with what he can do with the 17 rush touchdowns, 16 pass touchdowns on the year. But Chris and Sean, we're going to find out a lot today because this is one of the best defenses in terms of discipline and upfront toughness that we've studied all season long on tape. What's going to give?
Yeah, it's a very physical Temple team on both sides of the football. On defense, they're the best scoring defense in the conference, under 19 points per game. That's 16th in the country, and they're led by the world leader in tackles, yes, Tyler Matakevich.
Well, when you look at Tyler, Sean, the combine numbers aren't there. He's 5'11", 233 pounds, verified 4.85. The answer that he has, well, all I do is make plays. Well, how does he make these plays? One, it starts with vision. He understands offensive schemes and philosophies. He's going to see a pulling guard, so he takes no false steps, and he's able to get in position to read and diagnose the play. Once he's in space, he's quick, and he understands cutback lanes, and he has the ability to finish. All those things, vision, intelligence, burst, that allows him to play at about a 4.5 speed as opposed to a 4.85.
473 career tackles and at least 100 in each of his 4 seasons. Only the 7th player in the history of college football to do that. Houston won the toss and deferred. So Ty Cummings kicks off for the Cougars. Temple dressed in white has trouble. Jagger Gardner dropped the opening kickoff and brings it back to the 18-yard line. Here comes Temple on offense. Traditional, good old-fashioned power football team led by the quarterback, P.J. Walker, junior from Elizabeth, New Jersey, out of Elizabeth High School. In the New York City metropolitan area near Newark. 6'1", 200-pounder. Passing for 204 yards per game. 15 interceptions last season when they were a spread-you-out team in the mold of RG3 and Johnny Manziel. They've reverted back to power football. Walker wants to throw on first down and has a man. They're going to mark the receiver, Roman Deloach, down at the 23, a gain of 5 on the first play from scrimmage.
You know, you look at Temple, Sean, and Matt Rule, they got their identity back. They stole it from the MMA world, ground and pound. That's who they are. They want time of possession, and they want to win with defense, but they want to establish their will and toughness early in this football game.
10-2 this year, the champions of the American East. Houston won the West Division, wrapped it up last week with their win here over Navy. Nice moves by Jahad Thomas. And he has a first down Nifty run to the 32, a gain of 9. Matthew Adams, a linebacker, on the stop for the Cougars.
Well, he wears number 5 because he idolizes Reggie Bush, and these are Reggie Bush moves, and that's set up by great vision, understanding cutback lanes.
And we're going to see that matchup a lot today, I feel like, with the linebacker, Landon Roberts, number 44, who's had a great season, but he's not the shiftiest guy at the linebacker position, so it's going to be a tough one-on-one when they can get him in space.
Thomas far and away their leading rusher. 1,000 yards more than anybody else on the Temple team. He carries ahead for a couple. B.J. Singleton made the stop in the middle of that 3-4 defensive look for the Houston Cougars.
Well, that's the most important guy in a 3-4 defense as far as stopping the run. Not going to make a lot of tackles, but he is a space eater, and that allows guys like the linebackers, Stephen Taylor, and those type of guys to make the plays because he's eating up double teams.
These two teams did not meet during the regular season. Play fake by Walker under pressure from a blitz. He got it off and throws an interception. Picked off by Tyus Bowser and brought back to the Temple 37-yard line. Landon Roberts, the inside linebacker, came on a blitz.
Well, it's a poor decision. First of all, Walker has to be able to eat this ball because Roberts is going to come right inside here, and they're late coming off the double team to pick it up. Then he forces it into the coverage, into the best pass coverage linebacker the Cougars have, Tyus Bowser.
And when I asked him yesterday, Walker, what is it that you do now that you didn't do when you were younger? He said, I don't force the ball anymore because it's really important with the style of play, too. So that's a big mistake early from the veteran quarterback.
Yeah, Eric Lofton late on the pickup, Todd.
Bowser, the interception, is first of the year. So here's Houston on offense. Ball marked at the 36. Greg Ward Jr. takes off running and is down at the 32. A gain of 4, run down by Nate D. Smith. They have 2 Nate Smiths on the team. Nate D. is a defensive lineman. As Todd mentioned, Ward, a great dual threat from Tyler, Texas. Junior generously listed at 185 pounds. Throws a quick hitter to Chance Allen, a transfer from Oregon, who's to the 29-yard line. 3rd down and 3 for Houston, and they'll go very quickly on offense. Javin Webb is the running back. Ward, quick pop, first down. Inside the 25, Allen again with Sean Chandler in coverage.
Well, this is what you do to slow down the defense. That's outstanding in the pass rushing, quick passing game, and it knocks the defense off of their rhythm.
Temple showing blitz. They bring pressure off the corner, and Ward's pass is batted down. Matt Ioannidis, terrific player in the defensive line, first team All-American Conference, knocked it down. He's a senior from New Jersey.
Gets great penetration on his pass rush from the inside. Tough to do.
The handoff inside. Javin Webb down to the 21-yard line. He's rushed for just 256 yards for the year. They've had a lot of injuries at the running back position. Their leading rusher, Kenneth Farrow, is out. He missed last week against Navy as well with a high ankle sprain. They lost Ryan Jackson, who would have been their number 2 back, to a broken collarbone. Last week they moved Brandon Wilson, a starting cornerback, to running back, and he was terrific in the win over Navy. We may see him at running back today. 3rd and 6, design run for Ward, and he's down just shy of the 15-yard line, and as a result, just shy of the first down. It is 4th down, and no hesitation for Houston. Throws it in the flat, wide open tight end Tyler McCloskey powers inside the 10. 1st and goal for Houston. Avery Williams made the stop for Temple.
Well, what I like about Ward Jr. right now, Sean, he's on his game, he's on rhythm. And Major Applewhite is mixing it up, and Houston has come out throwing the football.
On a delay, Javin Webb to the 5-yard line.
We watch this Temple defense. They're as good as we've seen all year in terms of gap discipline and run stopping. And we've got 4 freshman offensive linemen rotating into 3 interior spots. So that's why they've got to get the ball outside.
Webb again, still fighting to the goal line. The official on the far side of the field, both officials now are marking it just shy of the end zone. And Houston's going to line up quickly again. 3rd down and goal. Javin Webb, touchdown, Houston.
Wow.
P.J. Walker's interception leads to the first score of the game for Houston, and it's shades of last year for Temple. They came here and lost 31-10 last season. And Walker threw 3 interceptions and lost a fumble in that game. Temple has lost to Houston the regular season each of the last 2 years and committed 7 turnovers in those 2 losses. They've turned it over already today. The extra point good for Ty Cummings. Well, Chris, we spoke with the coaches for Houston yesterday. They said Tyus Bowser is terrific athlete, needs to make more plays with that athleticism.
And right there, like the former basketball player he is, went up for the high rebound, put his team in position to win.
We mentioned the numbers. Regular season the last 2 years, 2 losses to Houston for Temple, in which the Owls turned it over 7 times. 4 times last year here, 3 times in Philadelphia 2 years ago. They've turned it over once already today, and Javin Webb punched it in for the Houston touchdown. Ty Cummings kicks off. Very little breeze in the stadium on a sunny day with a temperature near 60 degrees. Jagger Gardner out to the 29-yard line. It's been a great season for Temple. Jihad Thomas takes the handoff on 1st down. He's in trouble and did well to dance ahead for a couple. The 10-win season, just the 2nd in the history of Temple football. They won 10 games in 1979 under the College Football Hall of Famer Wayne Hardin, who remains the winningest coach in Temple history, and at 89 years old still texts Coach Rule from time to time.
Coaches always coach, Sean. They never stop. It reminds me of my dad, 72 years old, and coaching me. Even when I'm in the booth, he coaches me.
2nd down and 8. Pressure again from Houston. Walker off his back foot. What a catch. One-hander by Robbie Anderson, their best receiver. Tremendous grab for an 11-yard gain and a 1st down.
Well, recognizing that it's a zone pressure, Robbie Anderson, the hot route, does a good job of sitting the zone down as opposed to running to the safety, and is able to go up and make the one-hand snag. Good recognition on both receiver and quarterback's part.
3rd down and 3 from just shy of midfield. And the big bodies all shift to the right. Walker, little antsy even with time, patting the ball, nervous feet, throws on the run, caught. 1st down to the Houston 33-yard line. Saladin Major, one of their 3 tight ends, just the 4th catch of the year for Saladin.
Well, he missed Saladin right down the middle the first time, but no panic, stays behind the sticks and delivers a strike, and Saladin did a good job of working back to his quarterback.
That's the type of play that helps you settle down, where you can move around a little bit, see the field, make a big throw across your body. Really a confidence booster.
Well, Walker's a 3-year starter, but he has looked a little antsy here. Now confidently in the pocket, almost picked off and caught by Anderson in the ricochet. Off the hands of Matthew Adams, the linebacker, and Anderson caught it again for another Temple 1st down.
Well, 2 things here, Sean. They helped Walker by going max protection. That was a 2-man route, and he still forced it into coverage because he had no vision of Adams, who did a good job of rolling back with the deep end. Concentration by Robbie Anderson to keep that alive.
Anderson's a 5th-year senior from Fort Lauderdale. He's had quite an up-and-down run in Philadelphia as a Temple Owl, but finishing with a flourish. They're being tested with regular pressure from the Houston front. Just a 3-man rush, and Anderson another catch, and he lost the football. he got belted shy of the 10, and it's the second Temple turnover. Trayvon Stewart recovers.
Well, there's a reason why they're plus 17 on the year, the Houston Cougars, because they rally to the football. You have 1, 2, 3. 3 guys hitting it, and I believe the ball was caused to come out by a Landon Roberts, the linebacker, number 44. But when you guys rally into the football, and Adrian McDonald could have stripped it, good things happen.
Tom Herman greeting all the Cougars as they arrive, reminiscent of his former boss Urban Meyer, who does that when the Buckeyes of Ohio State arrive for games. Tom Herman, 3 previous years as offensive coordinator at Ohio State, part of that national championship team last season. His team just took it away for the second time. Greg Ward Jr. throws a deep ball, and it is caught by a wide open Chance Allen. And if it hit him on stride, it might have been the touchdown. Instead, it's a gain to the 36.
Well, it's about teams making plays in big games. And right here, Chance Allen does a great job of adjusting his hips and body and bringing a tough catch in for the good of the team. Right now, Temple has no answer.
27-yard gain. Greg Ward kept it, stumbled ahead, back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Tom Herman, co-coach of the year in the American with Ken Niumatalolo. Navy had a terrific year. These 2 teams, Navy and Memphis, all ranked in the top 25 in the country at one time or another this year. It's been a terrific season for the American.
The whole conference has been outstanding this year. Good players.
Dumped off for Brandon Wilson. We mentioned the starting cornerback all year until last week when he stepped in for the injured Kenneth Farrow and was a big part of their win over Navy. He got buried by Stephon Marshall after a gain of 8.
Yeah, the whole plan for the Cougars, Sean, is they're going to try to tease them a little bit by running inside just to keep them honest, but they're attacking the perimeter.
Really, the receiver at the far sideline was lined up offside, no flag down, and Greg Ward carries for a first down. Tackled by Will Hayes. Temple's had the ball for 2 possessions. They've thrown an interception and lost a fumble. The recovery by Trayvon Stewart, the 9th of his career. Most fumble recoveries in the history of Houston football. Brandon Wilson. 8-yard gain to the Temple 46.
One thing to keep an eye on, guys, is we've got the starting cornerback, number 1, Tavon Young, out of the game. He was in for the first series, but went out. And now watch for Houston to go after number 15, Nate Hairston.
Javin Webb wrapped up and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Praise Martin Ogwike, the tackle for Temple. Bill Stowe is the defensive coordinator for Temple. Done a terrific job. He'll be 60 later this month. He said, I'm at the point now I'm not chasing head coaching jobs. I'm in it. The relationships with the players, trying to help them achieve as best they can. And boy, has he done that. Ward breaks tackles and looks like they're going to give him a very favorable mark on what's the last play of the quarter. Wouldn't be surprised if they take a close look at that during the break between quarters. Houston leading 7-0 and in Temple territory when the second quarter begins. Sean McDonough, Chris Spielman, Todd McShay back in Houston. The American Championship Game Houston leading Temple 7-0. While we were away, they did review the last play of the first quarter, and they've moved the ball back about a half yard.
You see right there, his elbow's down about the 26.5. And you know, if you're Temple, you know Houston's going to go for this. If you're Temple, you have to play tight man coverage because they threw it on the last 4th and 1. Then you have to blitz to handle any running lanes by Greg Ward Jr.
Instead of 1st and 10, it's 4th and about a foot for Houston. The offense on the field to go for it. Greg Ward Jr. in the shotgun. Javin Webb, the running back, on his right hip. Temple crowding the line. Ward, first down. Ward across the 20 and out of bounds inside the 15. Chased across the boundary by Will Hayes, the 5th-year senior safety from Howell, New Jersey.
Well, if you're going to be a running back in Tom Herman's system, you better be able to block. Javin Webb did a great job of getting to that second level, sealing off the pursuit, allowing Ward to get positive yards.
Javin Webb bounced back as he reached the line of scrimmage. Tyler Matakevich, leading active tackler in America. Senior from Stratford, Connecticut, had no scholarship offers out of high school, so he went to Milford Academy in New York State. Matt Rule saw him there and liked him. He played very little his first 4 games of his freshman year, and then got the opportunity to play, and he started every game since. Coach Rule says he hasn't even missed a practice in 4 years, which is amazing given how many tackles he's been a part of. John Leday breaks tackles and then got blasted inside the 10-yard line. Sharif Finch delivered a big hit.
The problem Temple's having, Houston's attacking outside and inside, so it keeps that defense guessing. They don't know what to take away.
3rd down and 4. On the run, Ward off the hands of his receiver and incomplete. Intended for John Leday again. And Tom Herman will send the field goal team on 4th down and 4.
Yeah, not the most accurate pass, but one which should have been caught. If you're a Division I football player, you get 2 hands on that football, that's a catch. Missed opportunity by the Cougars, settling for 3, or an attempted 3.
Ty Cummings became the kicker early in the year. Kyle Bullard started the year as the kicker, was just 5 for 9. They went to Cummings and he's 6 for 6. 24-yard try from just inside the left hash mark. And Houston leads 10-0. 13:28 to go till halftime here in Houston. Houston leading 10-0. I have the sense it could have been even a bigger lead given that Temple has turned it over twice. Ty Cummings to kick off. David Hood back deep with Jagger Gardner. Gardner, after some hesitation, decides to bring it out. And he does not reach the 20-yard line, down at the 18.
Temple needs to get back to ground and pound. They're not living to their identity in this first quarter, Sean. And they have not handled any inside pressure from the Houston Cougars. Identify yourself and start running the football if you're the Owls.
Well, they've moved the ball. Obviously, the turnovers have been a killer. Jihad Thomas ahead for a yard. Landon Roberts made the tackle. What a success story Roberts is. Senior from Port Arthur, Texas. This is his first year as a starter. He's the leading tackler on the team and was first team all-conference in his only year as a starting linebacker for Houston.
He's done a tremendous job. Not the nimblest of guys, but tough, and he finishes when he gets to the ball carrier.
No major offers out of high school in Port Arthur. He went to Morgan State, an FCS school in Baltimore, spent 1 year there. Had over 100 tackles, and then lots of big-time programs were interested in him. Jihad Thomas. down at the 22-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about 6.
And I think Chris is exactly right. They've got to get back to running the football and continue to try to get the 3rd down and manageable. 3rd and 6 you can live with. You'd like it to be 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. And as great as Jahad Thomas has been, as many guys as he makes miss, even on that last run, there are some creases where he can just get it up the field and gain an extra 2 or 3 yards. He's trying to hit the home run. It's something we're going to have to watch for. They really need to be efficient with their rushing attack.
Well, you need to watch for Robbie Anderson, the #1 target of P.J. Walker.
Blitz again. Walker throws, caught, but short of the 1st down. Kip Patton, the tight end, chopped down by Lee Hightower. Backup safety, senior from Inglewood, California, transfer from Boise State.
Well, Hightower just gets a great jump on the football, does not chase, plays disciplined with his eyes, and is able to close the gate in front of the ball and wrapping up the powerful Patton. Man, they get to the ball, don't they? As soon as the guy catches it, it's bam, bam, bam.
Alex Starzyk on to punt. DeMarcus Ayers taken down to the 42-yard line by Will Hayes. 38-yard punt, 5-yard return. It's the American Championship Game from Houston. Gets the carry again. And just a yard. We asked Tom Herman and Major Applewhite about that yesterday. And back in the spring game, Major Applewhite coached one team, Todd Orlando, the defensive coordinator, the other, and they picked teams. They had a draft. Major Applewhite picked Wilson. Tom Herman said, okay, you have 15 minutes at the end of practice if you want to put any trick plays or something out of the ordinary. And Applewhite said, let's put in a couple of runs for Brandon Wilson. Well, he had 6 carries for 60 yards in the spring game, and that always stayed in the back of the coach's mind. Then when injuries popped up at running back, they gave Wilson the shot last week in a game, and he was terrific. He swings out wide, gets some tackles on the perimeter, crosses midfield, and he's very near another 1st down. They'll spot him out at the 47-yard line, chased out by Delvon Randall.
Really great job by the wide receiver number 10, DeMarcus Ayers, who was out of the game earlier with a shoulder injury. It's been a recurring injury this season, but to stick his nose in there and get a big block.
3rd down and 2. The Cougars going quickly again. Ward keeps it. Ward dances. 1st down and more. Down the sideline he may go. Touchdown, Houston.
Well, first of all, a good designed run, but you can't teach this. You can't teach the vision, the patience, and that little burst right there. He is special. He makes this offense go. He's dynamic. He's explosive. He's a playmaker. He's a Houston Cougar.
47 yards, his 18th rushing touchdown of the season. Their only loss was at UConn late in the year, and they played almost the entire game without Greg Ward Jr. with a left ankle injury. He says he's fully healthy, and he certainly looked to be on that run. 17-0, the Cougars in this conference championship game. Houston Cougars leading 17-0. This conference championship game in the American Athletic Conference, better known as the American. Greg Ward Jr., only player in the country with 15 or more passing touchdowns and 15 or more rushing touchdowns. That rushing touchdown a moment ago was 18th of the year, the Houston single-season record.
I think an argument can be made for him that there's no player more important for his team than Greg Ward Jr. Just his explosiveness on every play, he's a threat.
Ty Cummings kicks off. Jagger Gardner. That stood up at the 25-yard line. The inside play fake and the pass to Brandon Shippen, and a big gainer for Temple. Out of bounds near midfield. Pushed out at the 47-yard line by William Jackson, a 21-yard gain.
A nice job by Marcus Satterfield to go to that quick passing game, to get him in rhythm where you get his shoulders and feet aligned and allow Shippen to make a play. But that just gives him a little bit of confidence, because right now when he's in the pocket, there's zero confidence because his footwork is all screwed up because he's not climbing the pocket.
Walker throws, incomplete.
But I like what I've seen the last two throws, though, simply because Temple's realizing that he's not going to sit in the pocket and be patient and take what the defense gives him, so they've got to run quicker routes. A lot of slow developing routes early in the game for Temple, and that led to problems because it gave Houston an opportunity to get to the quarterback.
Yeah, and when he throws that slant next time with William Jackson, throw that ball low and away because of his size. He'll climb over the top of the wide receiver and avoid the interference.
David Hood to the 50-yard line, gain of 3. 3rd down and 7. Another tackle for Cameron Malvo, the junior from Beaumont, Texas.
Can they handle the blitz? They've had trouble picking up the Cougar blitz all afternoon. Been vulnerable on the inside pressures. Dropping 8. Here they come.
Pressure again. Well blocked this time, and it's a 1st down. Adonis Jennings out of bounds inside the Cougar 40 with Jeremy Winchester in coverage.
Again, there's a free rusher right here, but this time P.J. Walker recognizes that weakness of the defense, and when he steps into a throw and he's aligned, he's on target.
School record now, 561 career completions for Walker. 3rd straight year he's thrown for 2,000 yards. Good catch in traffic. Saladin Major. And another 1st down for Temple to the 25-yard line.
Boy, that quick passing game got him in a little bit of rhythm right now, and that's a strike in between defenders. Good job of reading that corner and throwing that corner.
Walker, they left Thomas in to pass protect. Walker still vacated pretty quickly to the 22. Run down by Stephen Taylor.
Adonis Jennings, Sean, doesn't get to play. He's going to go out and block right here. And the problem is P.J. Walker's looking to throw to him. Take a look. Watch, he's going out and blocking. He thinks it's a run. P.J. Walker was looking to throw him the ball. He's not there to catch it.
Well, that's not going to work most of the time.
Yeah, you got to be on the same page. It helps.
2nd and 7. Look out. Walker in trouble after the fake handoff, and he's dumped by Stephen Taylor.
So when you bring pressure, sometimes it's good to show late, especially with a team with trouble pass protection. Stephen Taylor is going to walk out here late, and he's going to come unaccounted for because of the play action fake. The pulling guard can't get there.
It's been interesting to watch and surprising, to be honest, with Coach Rule and this entire staff. Temple has been such a well-coached team all season long. We're seeing a lot of mental errors and mistakes that we haven't seen out of Temple, studying the tape, getting ready for this game.
Approaching 2 minutes to go in the half. Temple really needs a score. Here comes pressure again. Hood picked it up for a moment. Walker got it off, but just for a short gain. To Adonis Jennings to the 23. 8 yards short of the 1st down, so the field goal team comes out for Coach Rule.
They got to go to the locker room and say, okay, here's how we're going to handle pressure up the middle. We're going to put the back to the outside. We're going to slide the offensive lineman. We're going to zone protect and protect the middle. The direct line from the linebacker to the quarterback is not being disrupted, forcing quick throws and off-timing throws by P.J. Walker.
Austin Jones trying to get Temple on the board. 40-yard field goal right down the middle. Sophomore from Orlando, Florida, Austin Jones. And we're now at halftime. And seconds away from John, Mark, and Mac. Pressure defense from Houston, forcing some Temple turnovers, and it's a 17-3 lead for the Cougs at the half. The halftime report after these messages.
Coach, Greg Ward Jr. is up to it again. How important was that long run for a touchdown that he had?
Well, it was huge. You know, it put us up by 2 scores with the field goal. Our defense is playing their tails off. This is a really good defense we're playing. So we got to keep the ball. We got to keep drives alive, converting third downs, and we're doing an okay job of that right now.
You're really preventing them from doing what they do best, run the ball and kind of time of possession. What are you guys doing so well on the defensive side?
Well, we're running to the football. We're in some good calls. We're squashing the run. We got to get more pressure on the quarterback on first and second down.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
From TDECU Stadium on the campus of the University of Houston, its second year, beautiful new facility. Houston trying to win the American Conference Championship, leading Temple 17-3 as we look at our Vizio first half stats. Total yardage not much different, but those 2 turnovers on their first 2 possessions for Temple really set the tone for the game, Chris. Particularly given that so much of the talk coming into this game was how Temple, in losing in the regular season each of the last 2 years to Houston, had turned it over 7 times in those 2 games.
Yeah, and Walker had 3 picks of those 7. And you look at Temple, they're built to run. Well, 35 yards rushing is not going to get it done. The other thing, Sean, Temple, when they get on offense, has to make an adjustment to be able to handle the pressures that Houston is bringing, because there's no attack downfield by Temple's offense because he doesn't have time to get the ball downfield.
Yeah, and you wonder if they have receivers who can stretch the defense as well. They need to punish Houston for all those people around the line of scrimmage. Kickoff return by Javin Webb of the Cougars in good field position at the 35-yard line. Brandon Wilson straight up the middle. You know, the offensive line here, Chris, gets some heat for Houston. It is a first down for the Cougars. They have a lot of freshmen. We mentioned 3 freshmen playing in the interior, the 2 guard spots in the center. I don't know how bad they can be when they're 11-1.
Well, they're getting better, and they're playing together as a unit. And I like the fact that they're staying on their double team, Sean, and are able to get to the next level. And you see when they run inside, Wilson isn't getting touched until he's 5 yards past the line of scrimmage. Really a good job up front.
We lost 8 linemen since Tom Herman became coach. Some quit the team, some had academic issues, others got hurt. They were forced to play. Those freshmen in the middle. It's been a struggle from time to time, but it is an improving group as the season goes along.
Cameronella, for 4 weeks ago, was a defensive tackle, and now he's a starting guard. And you watch him on film, his technique is terrible, but his tenacity, his toughness, and his 1-2 and his will is there, and that's how he can get by.
He's a true freshman who was a defensive lineman, as you said. Ward off to the races again, and barely tripped up, or he was gone. They'll mark him down at the 30-yard line.
Well, star versus star. And what star is going to shine? Well, this is Greg Ward Jr. running through the tackle of Matakevich. And surprised he got tripped up with his speed right there. Matakevich had a chance, got his feet caught in cement. Ward will put you on his highlight film in a heartbeat if you let him.
Elvon Randall got just enough of him to take him down. 25-yard gain, and now Ward's over 1,000 yards rushing for the season. Little trickery. This is going to be a reverse pass, and it is caught by Tyler McCloskey. Linnell Bonner threw it, and it's a first down at the 12-yard line.
You know, I saw this in practice on Thursday, Sean, and I thought they'd wait to run it until they got in the red zone a little bit. But Bonner threw strikes in practice, and they took it over and performed it in the game through a perfect ball to McCloskey.
They get up very quickly, and Javin Webb surges inside the 10.
Right here, there's Bonner going to come in motion right here. And how about the throw on the run between a corner and a safety? Dropping it in there. McCloskey concentrating, knowing he's going to take a shot from 2 guys. that was executed well in practice. So they run it in the game because they trust it in practice. They'll trust it in the game.
Good time to call it from Major Applewhite and Tom Herman. 2nd and 7. Quarterback draw. Ward, a great move. Touchdown. And Ward is not getting up. He got knocked down hard by Hassan Reddick.
He's holding that right shoulder too, but he's as tough as they come. But watch the move that he makes. And the beautiful thing about him as a runner, and he doesn't want help. I'll get off the field myself. When we get to the sidelines, you can take care of it then. He's holding his ribs. That's good. It's not his shoulder. For a Houston fan. But his burst, Sean, I mean, from start to stop, he goes from 0 to 60 quicker than a Ferrari.
He has been the star of the game. Tom Herman caught on the gas that powers the engine in this energy capital. That's an apt analogy. The Houston Cougars eyeing the American Conference Championship, leading 24-3. First American title game in the 3-year history of the league. They added a 12-team Navy this year. Went into 2 divisions of 6. The 2 division champions meeting here today on Houston's home field. They're still tending to Greg Ward Jr. on the Houston sideline. Kyle Postma, the backup, is warming up.
And the problem for Temple's offense, they have it in their arsenal, but it's not their main offense because they were quick tempo offense last year, but it's out of their comfort zone this year.
It is a touchback. Tyler Orlando had never met Tom Herman prior to Tom offering him a job here. Good throw and a catch by Robbie Anderson. He's still fighting. Look at him go. And give the officials credit for not blowing the play dead. His forward progress never was stopped. And he made it all the way to the 43-yard line for a gain of 22.
As a defensive coordinator, your mindset is that play makes me a little bit nervous because you're looking at the scoreboard, 24-3. Don't get complacent, defense. We need 4 and 5 Cougars on the ball, not 1. That's just something that guys think about. They always think of worst-case scenarios.
Walker under duress, running away from B.J. Singleton. That's a 10-yard gain into Houston territory to the 47. Tyus Bowser made the tackle.
I'd like to see him do a little bit more of that. I think he's capable, and I think sometimes he fights that. I don't want people to view me as a running quarterback only. He's a thrower first. Everybody knows that, but use your feet as a weapon to advance the ball down the field.
Jahad Thomas taken down by Cameron Malveaux back at the 45-yard line. Here's Todd Orlando. That last Houston touchdown drive was set up by his defensive stop on a Temple 4th down and 4.
That is college football, Wisconsin. Tough guy, linebacker, works hard at the game. Very unassuming, but smart.
Played for Barry Alvarez there. Was at Utah State the last few years. Tom Herman liked what he knew about Todd Orlando. They met, and Tom offered him the job, even though they had not met previously. Anderson couldn't make the catch with Jackson in coverage.
Hey, Sean,
will Matt Rule go for it again on 4th down?
I think you have to, because you're not a quick strike offense. So when you have on 3rd down or get in position to go for it on 4th down, that's a question that he's entertaining. But I just want to make a comment real quick on the length of Jackson. Again, a shorter corner would not have been able to use that long arm to knock that ball away. That's the plus that he has.
Ward warming up. Might be 4 down territory for Temple. They'd like to convert on 3rd down and 8. 3 out of 8 on 3rd down. Walker has a man, and it is caught. There's a flag down on the far sideline. Ventel Bryant with his first catch of the day.
He's working on 24, Jeremy Winchester, in one-on-one battle. Winchester fell down, which allowed
holding number 24 on the defense. Penalties decline. Result of the play is a first down.
As a corner, one thing you never want to do is fall down because it's an easy pitch and catch. Nice move by Bryant. He just faked him out in a strike.
And if you fall down, it's probably smart to hold. Good recognition by Walker there, though.
And he threw it hard, Todd. He threw the fastball.
14-yard gain. First catch of the day for Bryant. 37th of the year. That's the Temple freshman record. He was limited in practice due to a leg injury this week. Roman Deloach out of bounds. Temple on the move. Really need a score on this drive. Robbie Anderson spins down to the 13. We mentioned earlier what an up and down ride he's had. He was a redshirt in 2011, played in only 6 games, mostly on special teams in 2012. He was a second-string cornerback in the spring of 2013. He decided, I don't want to play football anymore. He quit the team, went home to Florida, kept in touch with Coach Rule. Late in the summer, he had a change of heart, asked if he could come back. He came back as a walk-on without a scholarship. Had a huge year that season, 44 catches, and then last year was out of school for academics, away from the team. Back this year in 50-plus catches. Pass incomplete, intended for Roman Deloach. Looked like they had a hold of his jersey with the ball on the way. William Jackson had the coverage.
Well, the one thing they've done on this drive is they've gone away from William Jackson. I know he's not a perfect corner, but he's by far their best corner. And every time they've thrown in his direction, it's been incompletion. But when they've thrown away from him, they've had a lot of success. So you got to go back to it. Stay away from him. You've got 2-3 other corners that are on the field. That last play where they were able to complete it to Anderson, they had him matched up in the slot against the safety.
Yeah, William Jackson's recognizing how the game is being called, so he's out there getting physical and keeping hands.
The holding is what it was.
Well, they're letting it go, so you've got to keep pushing that envelope.
He had a handful of the jersey and yanked it. Walker throws on the run, back corner of the end zone. Anderson the catch, touchdown Temple.
This is, I mean, Walker's getting a hot hand now. One, because the protection is there. His confidence is growing. Anderson does a good job of running a post corner route, catches the ball at the highest point, field awareness to get the left and the right down. Excellent job. Great throw by P.J. Walker.
Wouldn't you recommend to receivers in this day and age of having to complete the catch almost until next week, that you don't put the ball in one hand as you're
I would.
completing the catch?
Yeah,
Wrap it up,
it.
hug it against yourself, and make sure that they have no means by which to overturn it. Anderson with 136 yards receiving on 8 catches, and now a touchdown. And the Austin Jones extra point makes it 24-10. P.J. Walker heating up. Still a lot of time to go here in Houston. Tyler Mays kicks off. Brandon Wilson will bring it back. Brandon Wilson has some running room. And is run down from behind. Flag thrown late, well behind the play by the referee, Michael Roach. Line of scrimmage, the 8-yard line. Houston's played a very clean game. They haven't turned it over. They have not allowed a sack. Temple backing out defensively on the snap. Ward still launching one deep, and it is incomplete. Intended for Chance Allen with Artrell Foster right there in coverage, the sophomore from Meadville, Pennsylvania.
And Foster does a good job on a double move, recovering nicely and not grabbing on. Not looking back at the quarterback, but going up and playing through their hands. A lot of times I hear analysts say, oh, he didn't look back. He didn't look back, because he's not supposed to look back. In that situation, you run through the wide receiver's hands. You knock his hands away from the ball. Chance Williams has got to go up and challenge that, though, Sean. He tried to catch that with his body at his waist. He needs to go get, Chance Allen needs to go get it with his hands.
Brandon Wilson across the 10. Reyes Martin Oguige made the tackle. Here's a big third down. Temple with a little momentum after getting its first touchdown. Now Phil Snow's defense trying to force a 3 and out.
Well, the one thing you always have to be concerned with, will Greg Ward tuck it and run? He's dangerous when he scrambles. Empty set. Sometimes they like a little bit of a quarterback draw, but have a spy on him.
Long count, and the pass is batted down at the line of scrimmage. He's trying to throw it quickly to DeMarcus Ayers, who's had a very quiet day today for Houston, their outstanding receiver. No catches. He had 89 for the year coming in.
Hershey Walton getting in the throwing lane. Again, knowing that it was a quick throw, not going to get there as a pass rusher, so you become a pass blocker. Getting those hands up in the air. 6'4".
Big 3 and out for the Temple defense. Bear in mind, they've deflected a punt today. They've blocked 5 this year. They went to the rugby punt to help Logan Piper that time. And it'll be down near midfield, where it was first touched by Nolan Freeze, who's the long snapper. P.J. Walker. He and that offensive line done a much better job dealing with the Houston defensive pressure here in the second half. Jihad Thomas has a haul. Jihad slipped down as he tried to cut. Looked like he had more room, Chris, to the sideline. And when he went to cut, maybe a little too much of his favorite Reggie Bush imitation there.
Yeah, this is the one criticism you have. Watch, he's going to cut and try to make a move on 0. Nobody. Just go north and south, get what you can get. And you had a blocker on the sideline.
Got 9.5. Mentioned he was a high school teammate of P.J. Walker, but not highly recruited at all. As a matter of fact, Jihad told us yesterday the only offer he had was from the University of Maine. P.J. Walker helped convince Matt Rule that Thomas would be a productive Temple Owl. He carries for a first down to the 38-yard line. Taken down by Lee Hightower. Final seconds of the third quarter. Temple trying to make it a very tight game as we head to the 4th in this conference championship game. Walker. Tyus Bowser had a good rush on the corner. As a matter of fact, from here it looked like he was being held, and the Houston coaches protesting. Tom Herman extending his arms out at Michael Roach. The pass was incomplete, and that is the end of the third quarter. Each team scored 7 in the third, so it's still a 14-point lead for the Cougars as we go to the 4th. You're watching ESPN on ABC College Football presented by Kay Jewelers. First American Athletic Conference championship game. And Houston leads Temple 24-10 as we head to the 4th quarter here in Houston. Sean McDonough, Chris Spielman, Todd McShay. Second down for Temple in Houston territory, and deeper into Cougar territory. Robbie Anderson swung down by William Jackson, but they'll mark it just shy of the 30, and it's third down and about 1.5 yards.
And for the first time all game, they've taken William Jackson. Houston has their best cornerback and moved him around so that he's on Anderson, Temple's best receiver, and the receiver who's starting to break out. So now it's really, I think, up to Shippen and the rest of these wide receivers to go up against the secondary corners of Houston, create separation, and make some plays.
Here's your matchup, one-on-one.
Could be 4-down territory. Walker, single coverage, batted away on a great defensive play by Jeremy Winchester. Ventel Bryant, the intended receiver, and Winchester had a feel that the ball was about to arrive and punched it away.
Yeah, this is, again, the beautiful example of not looking back too early, trusting your training, reading the arms of the wide receiver. When the receiver's hands go up, you long arm it and knock it away. Disciplined coverage by Jeremy Winchester.
And Ventel Bryant really never seemed to be under complete control. He hasn't been practicing as much recently. You wonder if that came into the factor of it, but clearly not comfortable going up and getting that ball. He needs to attack it and get his head around a little bit earlier.
39-yard try, and it is good off the foot of Austin Jones. So Temple inches closer, but still down by 2 scores, 11 points. With 11.5 minutes to go here in Houston. Tyler Mays kicks off down the goal line to Brandon Wilson. Trying to cut all the way across the field, and he is stacked up near the 10. They'll give him the 11-yard line. Nate L. Smith leading the coverage. Sam Benjamin also there. Here's a look at this week's college football playoff rankings brought to you by AT&T. And Chris, most people believe Oklahoma's in. They don't have another game. No conference championship in the Big 12. And that the winner of the Big 10 championship game tonight, Iowa and Michigan State, is going to be in. And the rest of that bunch 5 and lower hoping that Clemson loses or Alabama loses or they both lose, and there's chaos.
Yeah, I think Stanford has a chance if there's an upset of Clemson by North Carolina because of their schedule. Their schedule is pretty tough, and remember, North Carolina had those 2 FCS opponents on their schedule, which could hurt them in the committee's eyes.
All of a sudden, it is the Temple defense winning the battles against this Houston offense. Javin Webb dumped after a gain of 1.
I think Florida beating Alabama is probably the best shot, and UNC beating Clemson would be the second best shot for Stanford to get in. I mean, when you look at it, Florida would have 2 losses. UNC would have 1 loss, and you start to stack them up. Stanford has the 18th best strength of schedule, though. That's what gives them a chance, and then they would be the Pac-12 champion and would get them in over some other teams.
Well, you know, I know one thing about that game tonight, that Pac-12 championship. It's going to be physical because both teams pride themselves in their toughness.
And that wasn't the case in the regular season meeting when Steve Sarkisian was the coach, and USC offense was playing at a very fast tempo and throwing it around all over the place. When Clay Helton became the interim coach, they got much more heavily reliant upon the run and power football. I think that's one of the reasons he got the job this week. Javin Webb, the ball carrier. Very conservative play calling here. Phil Snow's defense ruling the day at the moment.
Being settled down, a little bit more discipline, closing down their gaps, and they're taking away the inside run. And where Houston had success in the first half was they were capable of running inside and outside. And Ayers, DeMarcus Ayers, number 10, has been shut out all day, Sean, the leading receiver for the Cougars.
Temple rushes 5. Ward throws incomplete. Chance Allen, the intended receiver. It's another 3 and out. Temple forces 5 3-and-outs per game. They're 9th in the country in that category.
It's a nice job by Sean Chandler right here, staying in his technique, not panicking, not getting into his back pedal too quick, and playing the receiver, playing a route.
Temple should have excellent field position again. Logan Piper on the punt. Sean Chandler back forward. He's near midfield. And he'll catch it at his own 48. And he's swarmed under immediately. Looks a lot like the Lombardi Trophy.
Wow. Exciting. Love championship games.
Great field position again for Temple. Walker out wide. Robbie Anderson made the catch. Might have been better off not catching it. William Jackson dropped him for a loss of about 6.
Well, good on good. Robbie Anderson, the best wide receiver for Temple, Pink's the best cover guy. You're counting on Anderson to make him miss in space, and Jackson does a good job of sealing that tackle in open field, preventing a long run. See this? Know your play, run your play. Know your adjustment, have your adjustment, execute the adjustment. You can't count on the coaches for everything. Make a play.
We're down to 10 seconds on the play clock. Safety blitz, well blocked, and the pass is caught by Roman Deloach. He'll mark it at the 32-yard line of Houston for a pickup of 22.
Yeah, working on Winchester. Ball placement is superior by P.J. Walker to that back shoulder, blown away from the corner.
He's a big target, 6'4". Walker after the fake throws it up for Anderson, and it's broken up by Jackson. Boy, William Jackson, the third, the senior from right here in Houston out of Trinity Valley Community College. He's had a very busy day.
Yeah, see, that wasn't the slant and go. That was an out and up. So they tried to double move him. Jackson disciplined in his coverage.
And Walker's got to get a little bit of air on that throw to allow his receiver to run under it. Always a fastball, and sometimes it doesn't require a fastball.
You're right, Todd. A little loft would have helped. Let him go win the jump ball.
When Jackson looks tired, understandably so, his hands on his hips, you could see him trying to catch his breath on that close-up shot. Walker, plenty of time, finally gets rid of it underneath for Roman Deloach, who's chopped down after a short gain by Trayvon Stewart. They are in field goal range, and I think at this point, Chris, you have to take the field goal if you don't convert on this third down, unless it's very short, because you need 11 points.
Yeah, absolutely. Get points when you can get points in this type of situation. If I'm Houston, I don't put myself in press coverage. I play off and keep the ball in front of me and force Temple to use clock.
2:50 to go. The clock running. Third down and 8. Walker dropped the snap, and he's buried back at the 33, and the ball comes out. Temple recovered it. So that might be the difference between field goal range and not field goal range. Jones's longest of the career is 47 yards.
And Sean, the clock is ticking, and there's no sense of urgency.
Nope, they're going to go for it on this fourth down. I think that did take them out of field goal range. Be about a 50-yarder from here. Jones has not been consistent from long range. They're 1 out of 3 on fourth down today. Another low snap. Walker has to take off running. Needs blocks and doesn't get them. Stopped short of the first down at the 24-yard line by Stephen Taylor.
So a couple points here. First of all, the low snap turns into a benefit because it allows the defensive lineman to rush past Walker. So it was delayed. It's almost like a quarterback draw. Then Stephen Taylor does a tremendous job of defeating the blocker in the open field and making a tackle short. That's the second one in a row that was low and away. But that allowed him to have the defensive line run past. Then Stephen Taylor does a great job of getting by the block of Brandon Shippen and making an open field tackle. Good awareness by Walker. Look at Stephen Taylor right there, just throwing his body, and Shippen trying to get his block, and Walker kind of cut right back into him.
And Temple stopped again on fourth down. They took 3 minutes and 21 seconds off the clock and used the timeout, got no points. Still down by 2 scores with under 2 minutes to go and 2 timeouts remaining. Brandon Wilson to the 31. Nate L. Smith made the tackle. Temple with 1 timeout left now. And the championship dreams running out. They run the football, stop the run, don't turn it over. All the things that Tom Herman preaches. An enormous first down for Ward, and that should just about put it away. Houston on the verge of its 11th conference title in school history, their first since 2006 when they were in Conference USA. Brandon Wilson looks like he has another first down with 1:01 to go. Nate L. Smith made the tackle.
You know, here's a well-coached football team, because I see a cornerback for all season except for last week, when he's running the football in this type of situation, cover the ball with 2 hands to protect it.
So Houston will be the American Athletic Conference champion. We're in the first conference title game. It's been an amazing 12 months for Tom Herman. Won a national championship at Ohio State last year as the offensive coordinator. Won the Broyles Award as the top assistant. Got his first head coaching job here at Houston. And he's led them to one of the great seasons in school history. And they will be heading to a New Year's 6 bowl game, probably the Peach Bowl, on New Year's Day. 11th conference championship in school history, and they won't have to snap it again. 12-1. One shy of the school record for wins 13 victories here in 2011 in Kevin Sumlin's last year as head coach before he went off to Texas A&M. One more game to play in the bowl game for Tyler Matakevich. He and that defense were terrific in the second half, really the whole game. And they got behind the 8 ball in the first half because of those 2 turnovers.
Yeah, didn't get much help from their offense as far as ground and pound, which is Temple's identity. And they came back, and Phil Snow, Tyler, Matt Rule, everybody made adjustments. You can see why these are 2 up-and-coming teams and why both teams were great in the second half. And just a thought on Tom Herman, won a national championship, as you mentioned, as offensive coordinator of Ohio State last year. When he got that Gatorade bath, I bet you if we got him in the room, this championship feels bigger than that championship last year, because this is a head guy. This is his program. This is his responsibility. He's done a tremendous job.
A great week for Houston football. Tom Herman said he's staying, and his team just won the conference title. Here's Todd McShay.
Coach, I met you about 14 months ago. You're the offensive coordinator at Ohio State. Since then, you've won a national championship as the coordinator, and now you've taken your team, the Houston Cougars, as a head coach to the title game and winning the title game. What's this ride been like?
It's been an unbelievable ride, and it wouldn't be that way if we didn't have the players in the locker room that we have. Unbelievable leadership, unbelievable commitment, unbelievable buy-in from day one that we got here, and hard work pays off.
Well, obviously, such a team win, such a team season. Your quarterback, Greg Ward Jr., we know he's a great athlete. How impressed were you today with his toughness and competitiveness?
Well, he got dinged up. We knew we were going to have to run him a little bit. That's a heck of a defense that Temple has, and our defense stepped up really big. But Greg played tough, and he's our go-to guy.
I got to ask you, you got any message for the College Football Playoff Committee?
Go Cougs.
They're going to be in the New Year's 6 game for sure. The highest ranked group of 5 champion is guaranteed a spot in the New Year's 6 bowls, and most people believe their destination will be the Peach Bowl. They were the highest ranked team starting today, and there's no reason why anybody's going to pass them after a win over a Temple team ranked 22nd in the nation. So they're going to play in a New Year's 6 bowl game.
Yeah, and they're a good football team. So whoever plays them, you better be ready and not underestimate the Houston Cougars, because they come with speed, they come with toughness, and they come with a big giant chip on their shoulder.
Final score is Houston 24 and Temple 13. The Houston Cougars, your 2015 American Conference champions. Be sure to tune in to ABC tonight at 8 Eastern for Saturday Night Football, presented by Walmart. Number 10 North Carolina and number 1 Clemson in the Dr. Pepper ACC Championship game. That's tonight on ABC. Now for Todd McShay and Chris Spielman, Sean McDonough sending you back to the studio.